Welcome to At Home with Galavante, where we are now at our series finale. We've had an incredible season where we've been to Italy, to France, to Mauritius, and to Africa, all without leaving our kitchen here in New York City. Today, we are going to be doing holiday canapes, which are inspired by the amazing guests and the destinations that we've had on this season. There's a reason why everyone likes to make themselves here at home, and it's because my fridge is stocked with some really great stuff. And there are a couple of things that I have always on hand, which means that I can put together a really awesome spread no matter what's going on in the world. Now, it's no coincidence that if I was stranded on a desert island, these might be a couple of the things that I would consider absolute necessities to survive. The first is champagne jeepers, because they came on the show earlier this season and they introduced me to the most amazing champagne. Daniel Biboud, because I'm obsessed with you, Daniel, but I also love your smoked salmon and you're in my neighborhood, so I'm always stopping by. And yes, I do have blinis always in my fridge. Sometimes I like to make these from scratch, but otherwise when people are dropping by unexpected, I love to have them on hand. And then also from this season, Caviar, which came and introduced me to their amazing French caviar, and I always have a couple of tins of this. I was so inspired by the people who came on our first season of At Home with Galavante, and so I came up with some recipes and also borrowed a few recipes that I think are the perfect holiday canapes that are super simple to make. The first thing that we're going to do is a brioche with truffle butter and black truffle shaved on top. We're going to do a smoked salmon rosette by Daniel Biboud on top of a blini. My favorite is the caviar and potato chip combination because I love my potatoes. And then the pièce de la résistance is the king crab dip. And I've been making this king crab dip for about 16 years now, and my friends and my family wait all year. And I've been told that it's not a holiday unless we have the dip. The first recipe that we are going to do was inspired by Liv and Cornelius of Truffle. So we're going to toast up some brioche. And while this is toasting, we are going to make the truffle butter. The ingredients are super simple. We have some butter that's been sitting out on the countertop for the past hour. We have some sea salt from Malta. And then, of course, we have the black truffle from Burgundy. So we've had this butter that's been softening on the countertop for the last hour. And so we're just going to stir it up. This is one recipe where your tools really will make a big difference because the ingredients are so expensive, so you want to get it right. You have to have a microplane to be able to grate, and then who does not need a gold truffle shaver? These are things that are called the necessities in life, and luckily these are the holidays, so this is the time to buy these things for your friends and your family. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to grate with our microplane this beautiful black truffle into the butter. It's a little too much fun stirring this truffle butter because not only does it look beautiful, it smells amazing. We're going to take some of this sea salt from Malta and we are going to put it right on top. So our brioche has been patiently waiting for us. And we want to make sure not to lose any bit of this truffle. And we're going to spread the butter on the toast. So while I think this truffle butter toast with black truffles shaved on top looks really pretty, what I'd like to do is add a little bit of color to the plate by putting some edible flowers. In no way am I saying would I ever take away from the taste of a black truffle by putting a flower in with this, but this is just for garnish, although you can eat these. And then the next part of our canapes is the smoked salmon rosettes on blini with chive and creme fraiche. And once again, just like the brioche toast with the truffle butter, this is very simple, really easy ingredients. The favorite Daniel Biboud Highlander smoked salmon, some creme fraiche, some chive, and some blini, which I've arranged on a plate. The most complicated part of this canapé, besides taking the smoked salmon out of the package, is to make the rosette. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the salmon in half, and I'm going to take one of these slices, and what you do is you fold over the bottom about halfway so you have a base for your rosette, and then you roll. And voila, you have flowers. When our rosettes are ready to be topped, we start with the creme fraiche, which we place right on top. And then the very last thing you need to do is add chive to this beautiful canapé, which you always snip your chives. You never cut them unless you're a master chef. Our third canapé is the caviar with potato chips, because I love my potatoes, and this could not be more simple, because essentially all you have to do is get great high quality potato chips. I like to pick mine up from a Pizzeria Biboud here in New York City, and then you put an amazing Styria caviar on top. So I've spread the potato chips up on this plate, and I'm going to take 4 potato chips and place a little bit of caviar on each of them. So as you can see, we put together this rock star feast in literally 5 minutes. The thing that takes a little bit longer is the king crab dip, but let me tell you, it is well worth the wait. For the king crab dip, you have a couple of simple ingredients. Once again, these are not things that you can't have in your freezer and also in your fridge. We have king crab. I have about 2 pounds of it that we've shelled fresh. We have some sour cream. We have some cream cheese, and then we also have a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. I like to use sour cream that's lactose free because it gives it a little richer feel and it's not as runny, but you could use regular sour cream or whatever it is you like, low fat, non-fat, but this is king crab dip. I like to use the real ingredients. And then as far as spices go, besides some of the sea salt, which we have from Malta, we have some piment that I got from San Sebastian to add some kick. And I like a lot of kick. And yes, I really do have paprika from Budapest. This is from the last trip that I took there when I was staying with the Four Seasons. And then we have a shallot. And then besides that, we have our trusty friend, the chive, and this is all we need to make this great dish. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to chop an onion, and we're going to saute it for a few minutes in olive oil, and then we're going to add the rest of these ingredients in. It's a full tub of sour cream. It is 2 sticks of cream cheese, and then it's about 3/4 of a cup of the Parmesan and about 2 pounds of the king crab, and then you will see this incredible king crab dip, which everyone always lines up for and waits for all year. So the first thing that we did was we softened the onions for about 3 minutes over medium-high heat. And once the shallots are just about ready, we add in the cream cheese. And then from there, we add in the sour cream. And then once this gets all blended together nicely, we add in the piment to add that kick, because I like my crab dip spicy, and then the Hungarian paprika. And then before we add in the king crab, the last thing that we're going to add in is the Parmesan cheese. And we're going to let this set and have all of the flavors come together really beautifully, and add a little bit of sea salt from Malta. Most people don't shuck or shell their king crab fresh. What I do is I take 2.5 pounds, I roll up my sleeves, and I crack all of the king crab myself, and then we add it fresh right into the dip. So our labor of love, which really was about cracking 2.5 pounds of crab, I think I got my arm workout today, is ready to go into the oven. That amazing smell that I wish you could smell here is the king crab. Is ready. As you can see, after just 40 minutes, I think we kind of look like rock stars with this canapé spread that we put together for the holidays. We have our smoked salmon and blinis. We have our truffle butter toast, which we made fresh today with a big black truffle shaved on top. We have the caviar and potato chips. You know where to find me later on. And then our main focus, our pièce de la résistance, is the king crab dip, which I have been known to eat without anything on it and just with a spoon, but I really think that you should get your veggies in. So I've cut up some asparagus, some red endive, some carrots, some radish, and then of course some potato chips for those who want to be a little bit more decadent. We've had an amazing time traveling with you around the world this season at Home with Galavante without ever leaving our home here in New York City. We're excited for season 2, which launches in early 2018, where we'll continue to show you the world through food and through drink. Eat with us, drink with us, travel with us at Galavante.